everyone and welcome to today's video. My name is Kaya if you're new around here, and I would just like to wish you all a very happy Pancake Day. So why do we celebrate Shrove Tuesday? It comes from the word shrive, which means to give absolution after hearing confession. So Shrove Tuesday is the day when people went to confession to prepare themselves for Lent, which begins the following day on Ash Wednesday. And the reason why we eat pancakes, hence Pancake Day, was because people used Shrove Tuesday as a reason to use up everything they had in their pantry, their eggs, their lard, their flour, all those kind of things in preparation for Ash Wednesday when they would start their fasting for Lent. The arguments on what kind of pancakes are real pancakes are, to be honest, ones I thought never would be an issue, but there are many. So just to be on the safe side, we are going to be doing some more traditional, in my eyes, probably because I'm British, thin pancakes with the traditional lemon and sugar, and then we are also going to make some of the thicker, fluffier pancakes as well with some other toppings. I really hope you enjoy this video. Be sure to make your pancakes as we go along, or save this for you to refer to later when you make your own. Let's get into it. Let's begin by going through our ingredients and equipment you're going to need. You're going to need a whisk, of course. A sieve is quite helpful. Don't worry if you don't have a sieve, it's not a huge issue. A large mixing bowl, some flour. I always use self-raising flour, but you are welcome to use plain if that is your preference. Some whole milk. Again, you can use a milk substitute if you wish, or whichever milk you prefer. I always go for whole. And some eggs. These are actually from our very own chickens, so I know that they are nice and fresh. You can also, this is an additional thing, you don't have to add this, but lots of people like to add in some bicarbonate of soda, so I'm going to add in a little pinch of that, but again, that is your personal preference. You do not have to have it for pancakes. Right, let's go through mixing it all together. So I've got my bowl. Now I do my ingredients sort of one of everything. So for every egg, I'll have the same amount flour and milk. And the way I measure my flour is I have a 100 ml scoop in my big jar of flour, and I'm just gonna make sure that's nice and level. So for every 100 ml scoop, as you can see there, I will add 1 milk and the equivalent, 1 milk? That didn't make sense. I will add 1 egg and the equivalent of milk. So I'm going to pop this into my sieve and then just sieve it into the bowl. Wonderful. And once you get to those little lumpy bumpy bits, you can just throw those over your shoulder and not worry about those anymore. And we'll crack our egg. Now be careful, you don't want to get any shell in the mixture. Bring this closer for you. There we are. 1 egg, and it goes. Perfect. And I don't measure milk because I make pancakes quite often, but you may want to use the same measure that you used for your flour to measure out your milk. And here we go, just a pinch bicarb of soda. Get my spoon. This is why it helps to have all your equipment out ready. Here we go, so a little, half a spoon of bicarb. Just pop that in as well, and then we can get going with our mixing. As you can see, that has made a lovely runny consistency. So this is going to be for our thin flat pancakes. And obviously to make more of the batch, you just increase the ingredients. 3 eggs, 3 cups of flour, 3 equivalent of milk, and bicarb. Obviously you don't want 3 cups of bicarb. You just want a little sprinkle or a little spoonful. Right, we've moved over to the oven now. We've got our pancake mixture at the ready. I'm using a large frying pan, but if you prefer to use a small one for smaller pancakes, that is completely up to you. I'm going to place it on my hob just there, pop my hob on. Always make sure you're being safe, okay? You don't want to burn yourselves. And I'm going to just put a little knob of unsalted butter in my pan. I like to use butter or lard when I'm cooking, just about that much, not too much. But if you prefer to use a little bit of oil, that is absolutely fine. I'm just going to let that pan heat up and melt the butter. You can give it a little helping hand if you want, using your spatula. Just move it around the pan just to get that nice and greased up. You don't want to have your pan too hot because you don't want the butter to burn or the oil. There we go, that's lovely and mixed in. And then I'm just going to use, I've got a little scoop of which I've put down somewhere, so let's find that. Found it, found the scoop. So you can just use, again, you could use a little measuring scoop or a ladle, and we're just going to measure out our mixture. To be honest, I don't really measure, I just eyeball it, pop that into the pan starting from the middle, and then let the mixture spread out the pan. I'm sure many of you have made pancakes before, you don't need me to spoon feed you how to do it, but it's nice, isn't it, doing it together? Right, so I'm going to let that spread throughout the pan, and my heat is on about a medium heat. I'm going to give it a little swirl around just to ensure we've got it nice and thin, because I am a thick pancake girl, to be honest. Normally we make our pancakes in the style of Americans, and so they are quite thick. If you prefer your mixture to be very, very thin, then you can just simply not add as much flour, or if you use plain flour instead of self-raising, then of course that will help to keep them on the thinner side. You'll know your pancake is ready to flip over when you can see those little bubbles upon the surface. Can you see them bubbling up? That's when you know it's time to flip. We're all friends here, so I know you're not going to laugh at me if I don't manage it, okay? But I'm giving it a good shake. I'm getting it to the end of the pan. This pan's quite heavy, so I might have to use two hands. Here we go. Oh no. Oh dear, well that didn't quite go how we thought it was going to go. I have managed to break said pancake, but it's okay, it's all right, because the first one never goes right, does it? So we're going to use the spatula, we're going to go old school, and we're going to try again. Let's try again. I'm going to get a plate for that. Okay, we're going in for round two, guys. Round two. This one's going to be better because I believe it will be better. Mixture's in. I'm going to move it around the pan. Okay, everyone. Attempt number two is in the pan. I'm going to move it around. Leave it on the heat. Wait for my bubbles to appear. And this one's going to be better. I promise. Okay guys, are we ready? Are we steady? Fingers crossed for me. Here we go. Get it around the pan, make sure it's good and loose. 1, 2, 3, ha! Yay, we did it! And again, one more time. 1, 2, 3, ha! Woo! Call me back, because I'm on a roll, guys. Right, I'm gonna place that one on the plate. So we're gonna go traditional with this one. Just a little bit of lemon and some sugar. We want to squeeze the lemon on first, just careful of your pips. A little bit of lemon. Oh, lovely. And then a little sprinkle of sugar, not too much. All over. Oh, that smells so fresh. It smells like spring, doesn't it? Lemon, beautiful. And there we go. Let's give it a try, shall we? That is just spring, isn't it? In a lovely breakfast, afternoon snack, maybe for brunch. Right, I'm gonna have one more bite, and then I think we'll try a different one with a different topping. Okay, as our next one is going to be more of an American style thicker pancake, I'm actually going to add a little bit of sugar into my pancake mix. So again, this is optional, you don't have to do this. I'm just going to add about a teaspoon, because I've not got very much mixture left in my bowl, of sugar, just for extra sweetness. Right, we're back at the oven. The butter has melted in the pan. Pan's nice and hot. Is it hot? Is the oven on? The stove top, I should say. There we go. That's on. Butter's melting. Would help if I had the right one on. That's on. Butter's melting. And we're going to go in with our mixture. Now this time I have got the pan hotter because I want to have my pancake slightly thicker. So I'm going to pour it in slowly so that it can cook and get its nice, thick, fluffy shape. And what we're going to do is we're going to make ourselves a little stack, okay? So they're not going to be as wide, they're going to be smaller pancakes, slightly thicker. We're going to make ourselves a little stack, and we're going to make my favourite pancake topping. So you're going to need a saucepan. And you can use fresh blueberries, but I actually use just some frozen blueberries. Pop those in the saucepan. There we are, lovely. We're going to make a blueberry compote, which is what I like to have on top of my pancakes. So we're going to pop a little bit of sugar in with those blueberries. Can you tell I like things sweet? You're probably all thinking, gosh, this girl is made of sugar. And yes, I am. I am made of sugar and spice and all things nice. What are you made of? Right, we're gonna let that one heat up on the hob as well, if I can figure out what hob it is. This is my own oven, would you believe it? Okay, and that fat little pancake is just about ready to be flipped over as well. Let's show you that. Can you see? Just slightly smaller and fatter. I'm just popping a little smidge of water in with my blueberries and my sugar to make our lovely blueberry jam compote. Give that a little stir. You don't want the sugar to get too hot because, you know, burnt sugar's it's not the one really, is it? There we are, just leave those there to get hot, and I think that that first pancake from our stack is ready to go on a plate, and we'll make some more. I really wish you could smell this through the camera because it smells absolutely divine. Whilst that last pancake cooks, I'm going to squeeze a little bit of lemon into here as well. Oh, stunning. And we're just going to pour that lovely homemade blueberry and lemon compote on top of our stack, like so. And of course you are welcome to just eat them like this. However, I have a secret finishing touch, which is I like to sprinkle just a little bit of powdered icing sugar on top. And by a little bit, I mean a lot. Go hard or go home, right guys? And there you have it. My blueberry compote stacked American pancakes. Delicious.